He went from zero to hero in the digital entrepreneurial space. And at only 20 years old, this serial entrepreneur hit his first six figures in less than 90 days. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. You're tuning to Marsie Talks Live. I'm super excited. Drew Sosa is going to be joining us. And, firstly, I want to let you know that this interview is going to bring so much value. So you definitely want to make sure you're sharing out. You definitely want to make sure that you're tagging anyone in the digital entrepreneurial space that is looking to get started and really take their business from zero to six figures in less than 90 days. Okay. I'm Marsie McCann, and I started working online about 3 years ago, motivating and mentoring aspiring entrepreneurs, digital entrepreneurs launch their new business. And I go live every single week here on Marsie Talks Live, where we have conversations with real people having real success in digital entrepreneurship and in their life. So you can give me an 8. Yes, I said it. Drop an 8 in the comments so that you can be subscribed to the show. And on YouTube, make sure that you hit that big old subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any of my live broadcast, okay? So like I said, Drew's going to be coming up, so you guys definitely want to stay tuned. But first, let's give the viewers a shout out. We've got JT in the house. What is up, JT? Thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, I want to say thank you for all your support. We've got Julius tuning in again. Welcome, Julius. So great to see you. You've got a couple other amazing people that are tuned in right now. But let me go ahead and bring Drew Sosa in. Drew, you're in.
Yo, what's good?
Hello, welcome. I want to welcome you. Drew, so tell everybody what has been keeping you busy. What have you been up to lately?
I've just been working on my course, working on my website to finish up for my mentorship that I'm hosting in regards to my Forex education, and also my ebook as well too. And I've just been busy for real, barely any sleep.
Wow, that's amazing. So I really want you to share with everybody, where your entrepreneurial drive came from, because you and I had a conversation prior to this interview, and I got to learn a significant amount, of information, like just where it all started. And you shared a really cool story with me, which I like to call the Skittles story. So I'm going to go ahead and have you share that with everybody. Like, when did you know that entrepreneurship is for you, and that, working for a boss was not in your future?
So I was in the 7th grade, and I was already in 7th grade, and I was at Costco, actually, the wholesale store. And when I was there, I was walking with my mom's, and I seen this big old box of Skittles. It was like 36 bags in them. And, because one thing about me is I'm really good at math. So, life is a numbers game. So I did my math. I was like, hold on, like I can make double my money just by paying it, because it was only $18 or whatever. That's including the tax. Wow. So when I told my moms, I said, Mom, can you buy me these Skittles and I'll pay you back on Friday? Because on a Tuesday night. And she was like, yeah, sure. And so she bought the box of Skittles. I went back to school the next day, and instead of me having to pay her back on Friday, I managed to pay her back on Wednesday, the very next day, because I sold out the exact next day. And so after that, it was just more so of an ongoing process, just of me more so growing, started making more so like $50-something a day almost. Wow. So like I was just 7th grade too. You see what I'm saying? So to 7th grade, that's more so a lot of money, especially back then. So yeah, and
that's
amazing. On my way, yeah.
And now you're the CEO of Wealthy Trends, and you were able to hit your first 6 figures in less than 90 days with your company. And that's so exciting because you're only 20 years old. To me, that's inspiring. So I want you to share with everybody, what made you decide on Wealthy Trends? Like, how did that name for your company come about?
So I was talking to my homie, right? And I know he was trying to have one of his own logos made, and it was Wealthy something. I forgot. It was Wealth something. And I started thinking about stuff, and I know that I was actually trading at around the exact same time too. And so I was like, his name Wealthy, and I can just put trends into it while I'm just, more so trading at the same time. Because when you're trading, you're more so trading, uptrends, downtrends, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'm just get this at LLC because I ain't gonna lie, this name dope. And now, hey, boom, I just my own company now.
That's amazing. So you're a trader and investor. And when you first got started as an entrepreneur, was Forex something that you jumped in primarily, or were you involved in other opportunities as well?
So I don't want to say, well, yeah, you could say it's an opportunity. When I was in high school,
Mm-hmm.
my 11th grade year, and I ended up linking up on Instagram with this vendor, my very first vendor. I didn't even realize like it is today. It was my
Mm-hmm.
very first vendor, and I just wanted some designer, and I seen that he had his own designer stuff, and I was like, he got them for like the lowest prices,
Yeah.
and I was like, I know the retail prices of them, especially where I stayed at, so I was like, screw it, I'm gonna just try to buy some of this, as much as I can right now, and I just went back and I just resold them for like retail
Mm.
prices, like buy like some belts, some designer belts for like what $10 and sell them out for like what $100, what
Wow.
$150 or whatever. So and people were going for it. I just started selling it online. I didn't have the big vision or whatever at first, like
Mm.
it's like far as making like my own store for it or like
Mm-hmm.
selling on eBay or whatever. I just used to sell like people locally on Instagram, Facebook, however I could or
Wow.
whatnot.
So did you ever have a job? I mean, have you ever worked a job? Because
Nah.
I know that you're a National Guardsman, which I like am super surprised at, because I think you had mentioned this. It's like that's sort of, it's something that you do, but it's not something full time, because your journey as a digital entrepreneur and the success that you've seen has allowed you to not have to work, for a boss necessarily. So share that with everybody. Like how does that mix work out? Because National Guardsman, full-time entrepreneur.
So when I joined, I didn't start getting serious about entrepreneurship until when I first had came across like Forex and got really into like network marketing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first found out what Forex was or whatever, that was the exact week after I joined the army. And I
Wow.
was pissed. I was pissed. So when I just found out, I was like, bro, why didn't I find out about this, like a year ago? Like, where was
Yeah.
this? And so I didn't have too much of I was in 12th grade during this time too. I didn't have too much of a plan or whatnot. All I knew is that I wanted to have my own business or whatever, but I
Mm-hmm.
never knew exactly what business I wanted or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So or what I was too much good at. All I know is I was good at making money, however I could.
Yeah.
So at that point back then, I wanted to go to school or whatnot, but I never went to school though. I was gonna have
Wow.
the army pay it off for me, but I never went to school though. So how I more so like to
Wow.
play it off, like how it mixes in, is I only go one weekend a month, as if I
Mm-hmm.
want to go, but I only go
Wow.
one weekend a month and 2 weeks out of the year for my annual training. And so I mean, I got a lot of time on my hands or whatnot. Basically, it's not like I'm active duty. And
Yeah.
when I'm gone for those 2 weeks, I treat those 2 weeks as it's usually like 2 to 4 weeks. I treat those weeks as like my time away from business, to where it's not really like a vacation, but more so just a break. Because I feel
Mm-hmm.
like everybody does need that certain break, especially as business owners and entrepreneurs, even as
Mm-hmm.
traders. Just they need that certain break away from business, away from those charts or whatever. Because when you come back, you're gonna have that desire to just go all in. Like when I just came back about a month ago from my training, and like I was pumped and ready to go. So
Wow. So why
yeah.
Forex? Because you tried the job shipping, you did that, you were successful with it. What got you hooked to wanting to be, Forex trader and learn about charts? And because honestly, I think, I've dabbled in it, and it's definitely, it takes some consistency. But share with people like what really got you hooked with Forex and what made you hit the ground running with it.
So I at first hit up my homie who's like my bro to this day, Wale. Shout outs to him. And when I hit him up, I seen that he was trading. This was like back in January
Mm-hmm.
2017. And I first hit him up, and I seen like he was doing something different. He used to post pictures of charts. He was just somewhat living good or whatever in Orlando. And so I was like, bro, what is he doing? So I ended up hitting him up, networking out, and boom, everything was just great from there. And so when I started more so getting into it, it didn't take me long to get the grasp of like the basics, I guess you could say. And so because one thing about me is that, remember how I told you earlier that I'm really good at math or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I'm more so of a numbers person at the same time. But when it came to those charts, it was like that was a whole new language to me or whatnot. When the thing that people need to understand is that whatever they're doing, whatever they're introduced to, is gonna be, it's gonna be a brand new language to them. But if you want to really learn that language to speak to other people, I mean, you got to go for it. You got to try it. You see what I'm saying? You can't knock it till you try it. So when I started getting more into it. And one thing about me is that I like difficult stuff. Like if it's not really making my head hurt, then I don't want nothing to do with it. But if it's got to have me like thinking, yeah, exactly. If it has to have me like thinking, then, or like it's getting me more so interested, more so make me want to like look up more things, etc. for it, do more research on it, then I'm a dive all in. So I guess it's more so what did it, the difficulty of it, which is what really drove me to it.
Yeah. So here's the thing. It's like you as an entrepreneur, of course, you've been in the space now for, what has it been, 3+ years? When did you, how old were you when you initially got started?
With Forex trading and just like my official, it was January 20th. So I was 18 years old, my 12th grade year.
So in the last 2 years, well, maybe just well over 2 years now, you dove into something that was challenging to you and something that you knew was going to challenge you to be better and be able to go out there and teach others that skill, right? So you develop that skill. But a lot of people probably watching, right? Of course, guys, we're talking Forex, but there's a lot of viewers that are involved in MLM. They're doing, whether it's health and wellness, whatever else you're involved in, e-commerce, drop shipping, but what would you say to somebody who's looking to get started online, regardless of, what they're choosing to go into? What would you say to them is probably the number one thing that they have to consistently do in order to really reach the level of success that you have? I mean, hitting your first 6 figures in less than 90 days, it didn't just come overnight. So share like with everybody that process and some of the ups and downs that you've had in your journey.
So, where can I start with it? First of all, people have to realize that when you jump into something that you have no idea about, you have to realize that you're not going to have any success, overnight or anytime soon. You got to get the grasp of it. So I really want to say patience is the biggest key to everything. I really want to say that's probably the biggest key. You have to learn how to more so wait, trust the process or whatnot. You got to be able to, because me coming up, it took me because I had to leave for basic training in August of 2017. And I was gone for a few months. So I wasn't able to trade or whatnot. But before that, between January through August of 2017, like I didn't have real money to really just put into my actual account. All that money was more so going towards like education, different courses, different books, etc. Because this is my time of when I first started getting like major into it or whatnot. So
are you there?
Yeah, I didn't know if you could still hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. You're on.
Okay,
you're
cool.
on.
So cool. I want to say because 2017, I call it my learning year because that's when I started just getting more into entrepreneurship, whether it was with trading, real estate, e-commerce. I wanted to do what I read in Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, when he said you don't want to learn too much, you want to know a little of a lot. So I wanted to more so educate myself. So during that time, I was just spending money on just like books, courses, different types of training, just watching different videos, just looking up stuff on Google. And while I was doing that, like I wasn't live. I didn't have real money to spend with or whatever. So, well, like put in my actual account. So when I got out of training in December, when I actually had my phone back, I actually ended up putting my first 500 into it. And so when I put my first 500 into it, the next day I made $170 profit the very next
Wow,
day. And I woke up to this, like legit money in your sleep.
that's
So
amazing.
so yeah, when I had after in the very next day after that, I blew that by like what was like $400 something. So I lost $400 the
Wow.
very next day after that. So and it was like an ongoing process of like win one to lose three, basically,
Hmm.
with just terrible money management, if I could say that.
That's interesting.
And that was for 3 months straight. So imagine losing about $8,000 just from blowing your money through trade and just blowing it. Or imagine losing $8,000 in 3 months. 3 months.
Wow.
And it was getting stressful or whatnot. When I first blew it, I was just laughing, but the laughs got lesser and lesser the more it happened. So it was just the ongoing process or whatnot. And I was like, I started getting to a point where I was like, dang, do I really just want to do this? I've been in the game for like a good year and a half, basically. Or when at that point, when I started just getting
Mhm.
to where I was like, wow, can I still do this?
Mhm.
And I ended up taking a break for a week, not looking at anything or whatnot. Remember how I told you earlier, everybody needs that break. So I
Yeah.
took 1 week off, like not doing anything. And I wasn't working at this time either. I wasn't doing
Mhm.
anything. And so I took a week off. I was staying at my pop's house. And the week after that, I ended up just hopping straight back into it, trying to do like find my own strategy or whatnot, just trying to
Mhm.
rush things or whatnot. I had to make some money.
Mm.
So, and I ended up having put my last five, I was a big risk taker. I ended up putting my last 500 into my account. And it was like all or nothing or whatnot. I ended up deleting everything that was like more so of a threat to my aura, if you could say that.
Mhm.
That was more so just messing around with my energy and even my account. And
Wow.
when I got back into it, I ended up profiting in a month and a half around $4,500 or whatnot.
Wow.
So
So
my first time, yeah.
you said removing like negative energies and things like that. I mean, of course, there were people, doubters, a lot of friends that you maybe thought were friends that you lost along the way when venturing into, your entrepreneurial journey. Um, how important would you say is that, with really seeing the success that you want? Because a lot of people have a hard time doing that. They get started with entrepreneurship. They start looking at different avenues, and different ways to make money because they want to quit their job. They don't want a boss. And they have things that tie them down. How did you like eliminate that? Was it just something you just suddenly decided you were going to do? And it was just, you cut all ties? Share that with everybody.
So one thing that I do love about the military, or I ain't gonna say I love, but I appreciate about the military is the fact that it more so strengthened my mind in some cases to
Okay.
make me more outspoken, make me realize more things or whatnot. And it's like when you mix that up with entrepreneurship,
Mm,
then because mindset is key to everything or whatnot. So when you mix mindset with entrepreneurship, then you're gonna, especially when you're starting to start your own business or take a different route than what the norms are used to seeing, then you're gonna start seeing and hearing things and even feeling certain things. Like your
mm,
aura is gonna. I'm real into spiritual stuff, so you're gonna start feeling just different negative vibes or whatever. Even from it's gonna be from your close friends, even family. You're gonna have people that's gonna doubt you. And it's gonna
yeah.
be and the worst part about it is that it's gonna be people that you least expect
Yeah.
at the same time. And I can tell you a long story short. Long story short, my pops was doubting me or whatnot. He told me that he didn't support me
Mm-hmm.
and he wasn't believing or he didn't trust what I was doing or whatnot. Told me to get a regular job. If I were to listen to him, and this is around June of last year,
Yeah.
if I were to listen to him about that last year, I would not be where I'm at to this day at all. I wouldn't
Your
have a lot of
your
things
own
I have.
father.
I wouldn't have. Yes, my own
Wow.
pops. And I've had multiple friends that, if they tried it, then they would have talked down on it. People that, even when you try to bring your own people onto things, this is one thing I had to realize is that when you're not just promoting your business but promoting your lifestyle change, people are going to come to you gradually or whatnot, consistently at the same time. So it's not your duty to more so have to bring it to your people that you've grown up with,
Mm-hmm.
because that was one thing that I realized as far as when I tried bringing people that I grew up with or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish many blessings on them, of course, but at the same time, like I had to cut these people off. I had to distance myself from people, because you can't keep on trying to bring somebody to an opportunity that you're doing well in and just force them. You can't just put a bucket of water in front of a horse and just automatically expect it to drink it right then and there. You
Yeah.
feel me? You got to really give them a cause to do that. And even at then, that same horse ain't gonna drink out that same bucket of water.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't just bring an opportunity to your people and expect them to hop on it with you and expect them to
Mm-hmm.
support it with you, because at the end of the day, it's gonna hurt, and it hurt a lot, especially when it came from my own pops. So in different family at that. So like, just distance it. Don't leave your expectations low, for real.
Did his opinion about it all change now? I mean, you hit your first six figures here, okay, with Wealthy Trends in less than 90 days. And I like to emphasize on this because you're only 20 and you're seeing the success that you're seeing. And that was one of the reasons, I really wanted to reach out to you and bring you on Marsie Talks Live, because I really feel that, you're a real person having real success and where your journey all started. Where is Pops's opinion now? Like, I really would love to know.
What's the emoji? The one where he put his finger up like this, the quiet one.
Oh,
He just quiet on it. He still think I should get a job to this day, which is
interesting.
wild. But
Wow.
but I don't. He just quiet on it. Not to be
Yeah.
honest, he doesn't say anything about it no more. Because I mean, even when I first showed him it, this was after I started being profitable or whatnot. I was actually making a legit income around that time last year, and like, I even showed him my account and all that. Just actually showed him, the money actually in my bank accounts. But he
Wow.
still said I should get a job. So I'm like, hey, oh well. And one thing I actually realized too was that you can distance yourself from family too. I read a post on Facebook that said, we need to leave this, that's still your mom, that's still your pops type stuff alone, because it's gonna hurt worse when it comes from your own parents, for real. And you don't
Absolutely.
have to force yourself to deal with it or whatnot. So like,
Yeah.
regardless, you gotta be able to strengthen yourself, not just your mind, but also just your own heart at the same time,
Absolutely.
to be able to deal with the type of distance or whatnot. So
Mentorship,
I had to
though.
distance myself from them. Yeah.
Mentorship, though, is one of the things I want to touch on, because you did mention, mentorship being another key thing for you. In our last, in a previous conversation we had, you obviously mentor people on a daily basis. You have Wealthy Trends, you've got, your own chat group, private group, etc. How important is mentorship? And how much of a difference did it really make for you? Because a lot of people have a difficult time investing in themselves in that way and actually getting a mentor, and then of course the aspect of being coachable. You had brought that up as well. So if you can talk about that a little bit, that would be great.
All I can say is I love my mentor. That's all I can say, for real. Like, he was the first person on my journey, the very first person that told me that, actually, not even in my journey, throughout my whole life, actually, the very first person that told me that is it in his exact words. He said, we know you're gonna be a millionaire, but the mindset that you're gaining at this age, he said, you're gonna be a billionaire as well too. Like, as like an affirmation, basically.
Wow.
He was the first person that told me this. And like, it's like when you choose the right person, that's actually, because you're gonna know who that right person is, especially based on their actions.
Mm-hmm.
So when you just have that right person that's actually in your life that can uplift you that much, be able to teach you things that you had no clue about,
Mm-hmm.
bring game to you or whatnot, that makes such a major difference, especially when you're coming up as an entrepreneur as
Mm-hmm.
well too, because you're going to be exposed to things that you have no clue about, and you're going to end up meeting that one person or multiple people that are going to just be so impactful and bring some, not even just information, but just joy and just
Yeah,
like pure happiness or whatnot. So a
that's
mentor is
awesome.
definitely a mentor is definitely like needed or whatnot. Regardless, that's why I do. That's why I do what I do now. As far as mentoring I mentored over 50 people when it came to
Hmm.
forex, and a mass majority of them are doing very well with it, making three,
Hmm.
4 figures a day. And
That's amazing.
so, and like you can, and the one thing I love about it is that you can see that as a mentor yourself, you're gonna see the changes
Mm,
through these people as well too as they come up, and the changes for the
yeah,
better. And even in some cases, it's not gonna always be the best for everybody, but
yeah,
you're gonna always get the chance to see those changes, like a teacher does, basically.
that's amazing.
So yeah,
It's rewarding, and that's the biggest thing. And you had mentioned that to me as well, is that's why you do what you do. Is a lot of us here in the digital entrepreneurial space, we put ourselves through all these tests and trials and tribulations, but at the end, when you've developed yourself to such an extent where now you can extend that to other people and mentor and coach people, that's when that entire journey that you went through just becomes so much more meaningful, right? So, last question: what are three major keys? Okay, and I really, we talked about this. I want you to just be as blunt and honest as possible. Okay, what are three major keys that any aspiring digital entrepreneur should have? Whether it's they want to do MLM, whether it's trading, forex, drop shipping, whatever. What are three major keys that they must have?
I think I said two of them. I might have said one or two of them already,
Mm-hmm.
but patience. Number one, patience. Like you just can't expect to have be your overnight success, or you just can't expect to make your first 5 figure day in like a week or
Yeah.
a month if you're brand new to it. And I feel like so many people, they struggle when it comes to being patient, especially when they're learning something. When you're in your learning stages, like I said earlier, it took me almost a year and a half to just actually just master forex like I
Yeah.
do now. Like a year and a half. Some people would have probably quit after that first month sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But what people got to realize is that if you're being patient with it, if you're still digging that same hole, you don't know how close you are to finding that pot of gold underground at all.
Wow, that's huge.
So you never know. So I want to say patience number one, confidence number two. You have to, when you're being, even while you're being patient, you at the same time you have to be confident with yourself or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
You really have to be confident. You have to know. You can just tell yourself, this is where affirmations come in at. You got to tell yourself that you're gonna make 5 figures a month from trading. You're gonna
Mm-hmm.
make what $50,000 what a month residually in whatever company you're in. You're gonna make 6 figures a month in gross sales from your drop shipping e-commerce store or whatnot. You got to be able to tell yourself this, and while you're doing it, not don't just tell yourself this, think this at the same time. Some things aren't always meant to be said, more so thought
Mm-hmm.
about. You have to be able to tell yourself that you're gonna do this, you're gonna be great at this, because everybody's great, for real, for real. You're great, I'm great, everybody's great. So like you got to be able to tell yourself that you have that confidence just to be able just to be able to do whatever it is. When you're trading by itself, for example, you have to know so many keys and tools or confirmations, as I say,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to find a certain trade and even stay in that same trade. And
Mm-hmm.
you just got to be able to stick through it at the same time. People miss out on so much money, so much opportunity, so much happiness just because they aren't just not so that they're confident with what the opportunity that they're in,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not confident with themselves. So if you're not
Exactly.
confident with yourself, you're not gonna be able to do anything or whatnot. It doesn't matter how patient you are. If you don't have confidence, you're gonna quit soon.
Mm.
So I said patience number one, confidence number two, and mindset, yo. For real, you got
Mm.
it. This mindset is key. Mindset is key because one thing that everybody should know is that some things ain't meant for everybody. For real, trading ain't meant for everybody. Dropshipping ain't meant for everybody. Network marketing isn't meant for everybody. Working ain't meant for everybody. It wasn't working for me. So like just mindset. You're gonna realize someday, like through whatever journey you're doing, or whatnot, is that you're just gonna have that realization that a certain thing is not gonna be meant for you. Like being a lawyer, that's not meant for me. That's meant for my sister. Being a doctor or a nurse or whatnot, that's not meant for the same people. Otherwise, you'd be seeing everybody doing the exact same thing. Just like entrepreneurship, you will be seeing like entrepreneurship by itself. You will be seeing billions of people, actually everybody, just doing it. And if it was meant for everybody, then everybody would be doing it.
That's
So
amazing.
mindset, yeah, just
That's
and
huge
mindset
that
ties.
you say that. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it's huge that you say that because a lot of people force their way in the industry. And, again, like you were saying, it's not for everybody. And that's the hard realization that, we all have to kind of come to is as much as we want to grow people in a specific niche in digital entrepreneurship, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's for that person. And so the biggest thing that stands out for me with what you're saying is know who you are and figure out what you're passionate about, hit the ground running with it, right? And sometimes it's not going to just be something that the first thing you get involved with that, that's going to help you get to know that. But maybe you got to try a couple different things, which like with you did the drop shipping thing. It was great. It worked out well. But then you found your new love, and that's Forex. So there's something for everybody. So I love that you shared that. And, I want to really open up for Q&A. Whale Adiyemi says, Major Keys, great interview. Well, we want to thank you for being here and watching with us. Julius McGee says, mindset is key. So I'm loving these comments. You've got Khalil Griffin says, my boy, hard work pays off. Awesome stuff, guys. Thank you guys all for tuning in here tonight. If you have any questions you want to drop for Drew, definitely go ahead and do that in the comments. I'll pop it up on the screen and, Drew can answer those questions for you. But really, really big, Drew, where can the MTL viewers find you?
Where can they find me? On Instagram. Yes. Just follow me at Drew, DREWW _ Sosa, SOSAA. And just hit me up. You got any questions, whatever.
Love it. So I got Drew's Instagram on the screen, guys. Definitely go and follow Drew on Instagram. He's pretty active there. I follow you. And I love his story posts. It's like the most entertaining, even though I have absolutely no clue of the charts or anything, but I could tell that he's having fun with it and he loves what he does. So any last minute tips, strategies, or anything that you want to throw out to the viewers that you feel is super, super key?
For anything?
Anything.
I really want to say, I'd say this a lot on my story. Utilize your resources. You never know what you're going to find on Google, or if you have people that are in your life that are making, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 figures or whatnot, and you're not doing anything about it. Your life, you feel like your life is it ain't shit, or your life ain't, just like you just feel like down or whatnot. But you have these people around you, you have these sources around you, you have all these just all these sources around you. Just utilize your resources for real. Like if you don't know how to cook or whatnot, but you have a phone on you and you got a lot of food in your house for no reason, you feel me? Like, go on YouTube.
It's amazing.
It's great. You never know what you're gonna find. You never know what you're gonna find, especially when it comes to entrepreneurship. You never know what you're gonna find. You never know what is on the internet. People say all the time that it's the internet, you can't trust everything on the internet. No, you don't know what you're gonna find. You have no clue. So that's all I can say on that.
Take a chance, right? Take a chance. Drew, I want to thank you so much for, being on this interview with me. And I really look forward to watching you grow even more. It was just amazing when I saw that post. I was happy for you. And this is what it's all about, is surrounding yourself with people that truly support your journey. Dream makers, not dream takers, right? So I definitely felt this collaboration to be necessary. But thank you again, guys. Make sure you go follow Drew on Instagram. Again, if you want to connect with him. And I also want to throw out a bonus. If there's anybody who would like some tips on how to boost their engagement on Facebook, for those MTL viewers, I did mention I was going to throw out a freebie. Go and check out this bit.ly link for a free downloadable PDF that's going to help you with your Facebook engagement. All right. I'll also drop it in the comments. Guys, thank you all for watching. There's a ton of people saying great job. Will says you inspire us, Sosa. Yes, yes, yes. I'm loving it. Awesome stuff. You threw out some major, major keys, guys. Definitely tune in every week for Marsie Talks Live. My next interview is going to be super exciting and awesome. I'll be interviewing someone who's actually the owner and founder of a marketing agency. So those of you guys that, you know, are looking into starting your own marketing agency, you definitely want to tune in because there's going to be some great value thrown out. And Nani says that she will check the replay. Yes, Nani, please check the replay. All right, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. This is Marsie McCann signing off with Marsie Talks Live and our special guest, Drew Sosa. Take care. Bye.